Ladies and gentlemen, XRP Ripple is on fire, and things are only going to get more interesting. Because the SEC won in court, experts say that soon, more than $8 billion worth of XRP could be bought up. Doesn't it sound crazy? But that's not the end of it. Expectations say that the price of XRP Ripple could go as high as $2,500. We can't ignore a signal that points up like this. Let's get right to the point without any more nonsense. Nota bene, right now, XRP is on the verge of a time that could change it the most. The tide is finally turning after years of legal fights and uncertainty. This time, it's not just about wins in court. It's about institutional capital, Wall Street attention, and a possible spot ETF approval that could bring billions of dollars into the XRP market. An expert in cryptocurrencies called Bale said that you won't be ready for how much money will come into XRP next week. In 24 hours, XRP week will start. We don't just feel that excited all of a sudden. A spot ETF filing for XRP is now being looked at by the SEC. A lot of experts think this could happen by 2025, if not earlier. Bloomberg ETF expert Eric Balkunas says that spot ETF for XRP will likely be approved, along with other ETF that are being looked at. Let's talk about what an ETF is so you can see why this is important. Through regulated financial markets, an exchange-traded fund lets buyers get exposure to assets like cryptocurrencies without having to directly own the tokens. When Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF were approved, they did more than just make news. They caused huge amounts of institutional money to flood in and sent prices through the roof. These things mean just as much, if not more, for XRP. For regular investors, an ETF would make it easier to get in, increase liquidity, help prices move more accurately, and most importantly, give the fund more respect in the mainstream. All of this happened after a major court event that changed the way people talk about XRP. A judge decided in 2023 that XRP is not a security. This was a big moment that people had been waiting for since the SEC first charged Ripple Labs in 2020. XRP is not a security, the XRP governor tweeted after the decision. It was a short line that shut one chapter and began the next. After that decision, XRP could be considered for an ETF, and big investors began to show a lot of interest. Big asset managers like Franklin Templeton, Grayscale, and Bitwise are now in the lead to make XRP investment goods that are regulated. Behind the scenes, big banks and financial firms like JP Morgan think that approving ETF could bring in as much as $8 billion in capital for XRP and other cryptocurrency. That's not just a guess. It shows that businesses are ready to jump in as soon as the governmental doors open wide. It's not just the price that makes people excited. It has to do with making XRP a key part of the next age of finance. XRP was never meant to be just another cryptocurrency token. After all, it was made to be useful for making payments across borders, providing cash, and moving value quickly. With an ETF on the table, those use cases become even more appealing to big investors who want both results and a sense of purpose. People in the neighborhood are becoming more and more sure that the long wait is over. John Squire wrote that people who own XRP are done waiting. This SEC case needs to end now. That's the feeling that runs through the XRP community. It's no longer just about making it through the storm. It has to do with going into the light. In the meantime, bigger changes in the crypto world show that the SEC is changing its tone. Governments and projects like Injective are working together to help make policy. As Camper pointed out, Injective made some big moves this week and is working with the SEC to help shape crypto regulation. This is a sign that the time of conflict is over and the time of collaboration is here, and XRP is in a great position to gain from this. Also, crypto experts say that the value of XRP will go through the roof, and trust me, most people aren't ready for it. A few of the numbers that are being thrown around, they'll amaze you. We're talking about predictions that will change the game and are backed up by real institutional force. Wait a minute before you write off XRP as just another token. What's about to happen could totally change how you see its future. So, Jack the Rippler says that XRP is your golden ticket to financial freedom. People all over the crypto world agree with him. Long-time holders are buzzing with excitement. With Amonix posting, XRP holders are standing tall and waiting for the next big move. You can feel it coming. Wide open eyes, it's not a coincidence that you feel excited. It's backed by a lot of new institutional interest, ETF speculation, and crazy price predictions that are exactly correct. Crypto Bitlord, a seasoned expert whose explosive claim made the news, is one of the loudest people in the room right now. XRP might get to $2,500. That's right, not $5 or $10, but $2,500 per XRP Ripple coin. Some people think that's not possible. Bitlord isn't just throwing numbers around, though. He uses XRP history, especially its famous run in 2017, to show that not only is vertical growth possible, it's also built into the currency. He wrote that XRP at $2,500 isn't just a dream. 2017's pump would easily go over $2,000. True, now that the monthly resistance is gone, prices should start moving up. This whole thing is about the word vertical price discovery. This means that XRP price chart might be going into uncharted land with no known ceiling to stop it. If those last levels of resistance are passed, Bitlord thinks that XRP could go up quickly and without any problems, especially if it is supported by institutional momentum and a possible ETF approval in 2025. Of course, not all of them agree. Another voice was TM Research, which said, "Let's see where XRP dollars lands at the end of this cycle. It will be great to move into price discovery. It's not likely to reach $2,500 though." But some people, like Stu, pushed back hard and said that the implied value of $2,500 was ridiculous because it would make XRP fully diluted market cap over $250 trillion, which is much higher than the market caps of gold, the global stock market, or even global real estate. Next, you're going to tell me that XRP doesn't have a market cap. Stu wrote, "People are going to lose everything because these crazy price demands." Still, for many people who believe in XRP, it's not about the exact number, it's about what could happen. When you add up Ripple's growing usefulness in sending money across borders, its court victory over the SEC, and the likely approval of an ETF by 2025, you have the ingredients for a big event. Alex Duckett says that XRP will go to $589, and Finance Bro says that $35,000 might be a good price. These aren't just random amounts. They're describing how the market feels, which is that XRP is undervalued, underestimated, and may be about to make a historic breakout. Right, but wait, that's not all. With this bullish sign, things are about to go to a whole new level. Let's look at XRP Ripple's relationships. Don't doubt it. What's next will make even the most doubtful buyers excited. Do not miss this. So, XRP latest rise to almost $3 has investors and financial institutions once again paying close attention, which has increased its market value to almost $170 billion. It's not just a normal price rise, it shows that more people are realizing XRP part in what CEO of SBI Global Asset Management Damoya Asakura calls the wealth transfer of our generation. For Asakura, XRP isn't just another digital token. It's a big change in how money moves around the world, especially since it's being used more and more in real-world financial processes like sending and receiving money. The strength of SBI stocks in XRP is what makes this point of view so convincing. Asakura's company has a big 9% stake in Ripple, the US-based blockchain business that made XRP. SBI has a lot to do with Ripple through its companies like SBI Remit and SBI VC Trade, which use XRP to make it easier to send money across borders in real time. This isn't just theoretical adoption, this is real-world use of XRP